Hey guys, it's Christina. Welcome or welcome back. I've tried recording this video 3 other times. Oh gosh, come on. And it's not because of me. Surprisingly, it's because I want to film it, it is not working, and I'm making it work. So as you saw by the title of this video, I'm going to be giving you guys some tips to get into reading. And I'm pretty sure I am qualified to be doing this video because I've been reading for like over 3 years consistently. And yes, my TBR cart is still overflowing. Any real reader's TBR is going to be overflowing, whether it's physical or electronic. Okay, people? So let's just get into it. First tip is start with your interests. So if you like, for example, like Criminal Minds kind of shows or like scary movies, I would definitely get into psychological thrillers recommendations, just like The Girl on the Train, and I would even dare to say The House Across the Lake by Ray Sager. Those are 2 very good recommendations if you like thrillers. So take your normal interest in shows and movies and look for books that are like that. The next is set goals. So your goals do not need to be the goodreads kind of goals, like over the top. You can literally, your goal can be, I want to read 1 chapter a day. I want to read a book a month. It can be anything like that. Start small and then grow as you go, right? And that's something gonna get you into reading, especially setting a goal. If you don't have anything set, you're gonna be like, well, I can just do it whenever. And that's not how you start a habit or a hobby. You need to be consistent with it. It's kind of like a chore, but if it's something you like, you'll do it anyway. Then the next one is create a reading routine. By that, I mean find a time to read. So whether it's when you wake up, before you go to sleep, on your way to work or on your way to school, on your way back, or from work or school, just make time for it. Again, a habit and hobby you need to make time for it. If not, you're not gonna do it. So you need to establish this time, and also you're gonna feel just so much better when you do it because it's something you like, and it's gonna, it's a balance between, what you have to do and what you like to do and other stuff. The next one is to join a book club or just find people that also like reading, and especially reading the same kinds of books that you like to read. It's a great way to create a community and talk to people about it, and also to keep reading and find new books. It is such a, the reading community, it can be toxic at times, I have to say, but it can be such a sweet and loving community, and you're gonna find such great people, and you're gonna probably meet your best friend out of it, and it just gets you in a mood to also read more and find more books. Again, like I said, creating a community based on something so awesome and so diverse is definitely really, really, really cool. In contradiction from when I said at first, if I'm from the kind of things you like, I would also encourage you to explore other genres, because you might like thriller shows, but you might not like thriller books. Grab a fantasy, grab a romance, grab a nonfiction, grab a historical fiction. Expand your horizons, because when I started reading, I only read romance, and now I read thrillers, I read fantasy, I read romance, I read every once in a while like journal fiction, and sometimes I read nonfiction. And I even, now that I read, I even enjoy the books I need to read for uni, which is surprising. So you'll never know, but you can always start small. Definitely always start small, but definitely don't close yourself off to one genre, because there's so much to explore and to find out that you never know you might like or not. One of the ways I recommend you guys to start reading books is not only physical books, but you can either do audiobooks or ebooks. So the audiobooks are perfect if you're always doing something and you still want to incorporate that reading, because you're listening to the book and you're able to do other things meanwhile you're working or you're studying or you're cooking or you're cleaning. And it's a great way to reach your reading goal and to read books, especially because some of them I heard are animated. Like the whole Avatar series is animated with music and sounds, and it just really immerses you in the world. And that kind of book makes those kind of books that immerse you in the world make me want to keep reading and keep experiencing these different stories that we don't have in real life. And I think it's a great way. And then ebooks are perfect because you get to carry them in your tablet, your phone, your Kindle, and your computer even, and they're a great way to keep reading outside of your home, because books are heavy. They take up space. So having a Kindle or a tablet or your phone is perfect, and you can keep reading. And if it's synced enough, you can be reading on the train, and you can come back, pick up your book, and be like, oh, I'm on this chapter. So it's perfect. And it's also, I feel like the whole book community can agree, you read faster in your Kindle, so it can motivate you to be reading faster and read more books. That's how I see it. I try to beat the little timer on the bottom. It's like this many hours left. I'm like, actually no. So it's definitely more useful, and also not only comfortable for when you're not home, but when you want to read in bed. I know I don't want to be holding a hefty paperback or even hardback, God forbid, when I'm trying to read in bed before going to sleep. So I have my Kindle, which is right here. And by the way, if you guys have an old Kindle, by the way, these are the stickers. If you guys have an old Kindle, don't you worry. If it works, don't get a new one. This Kindle, listen, I'm 20. I had this before my communion. I did my communion when I was 9. And I have all my books. I do kind of regret sticking these stickers on, because also I stuck them the wrong way. But I'm just gonna get a pop socket for this, and boom, I'm ready to go. I'm already ready to go. I don't even need a pop socket, but I still want it. I'm a Kindle girly right now. It gets me through books so much faster, especially when I'm in uni. During the summer, I do like having my once in a while paperback. But another way you can start to get into reading is get on TikTok, get on Instagram, get on YouTube like you are right now, and find recommendations. And not only on social media, but also on Goodreads, which Goodreads is social media, but to your local library, go to your local bookstore, like find books. If you're looking for something specific, I swear TikTok will find that for you, weirdly enough. And actually, this Denise said, well, just made a video of all these specific recommendations on books, so I will check that out. And you're always going to find something that fits you and fits your interests. Again, remember, if you don't like it, it is okay. It doesn't mean that reading is not for you. It means you can go and pick up another book, which is the great thing about reading. There's so many books for everybody, and it's never ending. Like, I swear, like, I feel like that one Gilmore Girls episode where Rory is like, oh my god, there's so many books to read, I will never read all of them. That's how all of us readers feel. But in a way, it is good, because that means even if we don't like one book, there's gonna be another one for us. And if we finish a book, there's just gonna be always another one to pick up. The next tip is to read short stories. If you're starting your reading journey, do not pick up the hefty books. Do not do that, because it's overwhelming, it's time consuming. Even if you're a fast reader, it's time consuming. It's just a lot. Okay, so start off with small, 300 pages or less, and then build up. As someone who's been reading again for so long, even the hefty books that intimidate me. So start small and progress, and if just start small. And also, smaller books means you get through more books, so you might reach your goal. Just saying. The next one is to limit distractions. So when I say this, I mean close off your phone, turn off that data, put on some music or put on some white noise or no noise at all. Keep yourself in a room that's pretty quiet, be comfortable, get comfortable, put on your favorite PJs or whatever, and be in your bed, be on the couch, and read. And make sure you're not getting distracted by the things around you, especially your phone. I'm a victim. Always am. I will be a victim after I finish recording this video. Just make sure you're in an environment where you know you can read, and read for longer than 2 minutes. Another one is to track your progress. I do this. I use Goodreads. I use a Canva template that I made myself, and I use my notes app to track all the books I read. It's so fun to track, because then you've seen like how much you read, like your thoughts. Like, you can remember what you thought about a book that you read in January when it's July. And I think it's so fun, and it also, like, it's nice to look back on and be like, oh my god, I read that much. Even if it's little, you still you read more than you used to read, right? So tracking's always good. You don't need to do it in multiple platforms. I just use multiple platforms because it makes me feel more organized. Maybe on a piece of paper, you're tracking it, and it's a motivation to read more. Another one that feels obvious, and I can connect it to when you find recommendations, like look for recommendations, is following booktubers, book talkers. They, like Destiny said, well, Sarah Caroli, Rachel Catherine, like there's so many of them that you can follow, and all of them are going to give you different kind of books to read, and there's just many more. And I think they can give you pretty good recs, and yeah, I think following them can also motivate you to read more because their content is always so fun. They do challenges, they do sit-down videos like this one, and other videos like that. Another thing you can do if you do find some buddies to read books with, it's exchange books. It's like they give you their favorite book and you give them your favorite book, and you can do an exchange and then talk about it. It's always fun. I've done that with my best friend before, and we had a good time, a good laugh, and it can either be good or a bad result, but that means there's a conversation. You guys get to talk about it, which is always fun. I keep saying fun. I promise it is fun. Reading is fun, okay, people? But like I said, sharing books with other people is gonna be really, really like nice, because you also get to share the world you're in, and it creates a conversation, and especially if the other person loves it as much as you do, it creates a bond, and you know, it makes it really, really special. The next one is to create a comfortable pace of reading. Please do not try to rush through reading. It is not a competition of how fast one can read. It's about you enjoying the story and the world that you're in. It's not a competition how many books you read a month or how many pages you read in an hour. It doesn't matter. It's what matters if you're enjoying the book or not, and if you're getting to your goal. And if your goal is, like, make sure, like I said, set realistic reading goals. And if you're enjoying the book, setting a pace that you know you can accomplish, and setting goals that you can accomplish, and everything else that I've said, you're on the right track, bestie. You're on the right track. Then the next one is reread your favorites. And you're like, I haven't read since like middle school. Okay. Pick up that book you loved in middle school. Reading is something that makes you feel nostalgic. It's definitely gonna get you back into reading, and it can also help you figure out what kind of books you like, and if what kind of level, like you're like, oh, I prefer something more new adult than young adult. It really helps. And if it's something more recent, it can help you figure out what kind of genre of the books you like and the kind of writing and all that good stuff. And last but not least is to stay open-minded. Remember, like I've said, just because you don't like one book doesn't mean it's over for you. It's not the end of the world. You can always pick up another book, look for recommendations, ask for more tips around your space. And again, it's not the end of the world if you don't like the first book you pick up. It's just a matter of finding the kind of books you like, right? So I hope you guys have enjoyed. So thankful that you're still watching, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you very, 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 very soon. Bye.